Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our third installment of the ActionCOACH Entrepreneurship Series. It's really an honor to have you here again with us this morning, and hope that you've been following the series. If not, let's do a quick recap. Session number one was around falling in love with your business again, and so critical to get to that point where you love your business. Speaking to a client yesterday, they've been pummeled by life and by circumstances, and the reality is that happens. So you need to re-engage with why you're in the business in the first place. So very important session, the session number one, fall in love with your business again. Session number two was around how business is the only vehicle to serve human rights. Whilst human rights are critical and should be expanded, we can only do that through business. And how do we do that? How do we play our part? Where's the contribution? Today's session, we're going to talk about freedom, and a session that is so important because when people go into business ownership for themselves, that's what we want. We want control, we want flexibility, we want freedom. And that freedom comes at a range of different areas. The sad thing is most people then get up and end up being slaves to their business. And that's definitely not the intention. So today we're going to turn it on its head and show that your business should be a vehicle that serves you, because it's your chosen vehicle to serve yourself, to provide for your family, and to serve and provide for your goals, dreams, and aspirations. So really honored to have you join us again. If you did miss some of the first sessions, you can find them on YouTube, and I'll share the link a little bit later on. My name is Harry Welby-Cook, and together with Peter Scholes, brought ActionCOACH to South Africa almost 15 years ago. And today I have a team of 40 coaches around Southern Africa, all dedicated to ensuring that we create more profitable, more sustainable, more thriving businesses. And I think that even speaks to our vision for Southern Africa. Thriving businesses, not struggling businesses, not surviving businesses, not doesn't help to complain type of businesses, thriving businesses. Because we know if we create thriving businesses, the next part kicks in, impacting economies, not just the economy, but economies, the economies of your staff, by giving them the opportunity to earn more, employing more people, and thereby having an indirect impact, procuring more services, serving more clients, and then impacting the micro, the local, the regional, and even the national economy. And when we do that, we get the third part, which is transforming communities. We so desperately need more transformed communities, but how do we do it? Thriving businesses, impacting economies, transforming communities. And that's why we've put this series together, to ensure that we take the best of the best from a knowledge and an expertise perspective and guide you, assist you, and help you so that you can run a more profitable, more sustainable business, and that you can ultimately thrive. Today, it's really an honor for us to introduce to you one of our coaches from the center of the country, Dr. Thabo Pitse. Dr. Thabo is a doctor, a medical doctor. He practiced as he studied, he qualified, he practiced as a medical doctor, and then decided, no, entrepreneurship's for me, and then became a serial entrepreneur. He's also a singer, a tenor, a musician, has a huge passion for grassroots development, and does amazing work in the communities that he serves. And today it's really an honor to have him join us and take his view on how you make sure that you take your business as a vehicle to create freedom for yourself in a range of different areas. So Thabo, thank you very much for joining us, and really looking forward to you and your input during the course of the day. Let me just check. I know Thabo's got load shedding at the moment. There we go. He's coming up. So Thabo, nice to join us despite the load shedding. We'll give it our best. Guys, we're going to make it interactive all throughout. So at any stage, you can type into the chat box. At any stage, you can ask questions. We will be giving some input, and then there will be a lot of time for Q&A at the end. So don't feel shy. Every question is a question worth asking. And maybe to kick us off into the chat box, just type in the name of your business and where you're based. So whether you're listening to this on Zoom or whether you're on Facebook Live, type in the name of your business and where you're based. And then Thabo, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Harry. First of all, thank you very much for having me. I feel honored and privileged, truly speaking, all the way from the States in South Africa. You know, people, when you go around South Africa, people will always make you feel like it's a plus yappy because you're from Bloemfontein. But so I found this way of, introduce myself. It's like I'm from the States in South Africa. And you see people going like, okay. And then when I'm overseas, when you tell people, you always ask, I'm from Cape Town or I'm from Joburg. And I tell them, no. I'm from the States in South Africa. There's a place called the States, that connects the two. So that's actually the best place to be at. So yeah, so that'll be me. So how are you guys feeling? I think if there are guys here, let me start first of all by saying the guys from KwaZulu-Natal, when you think KZN, that's one place where we go on holiday. We're going on holiday soon, and my boys said they want to go to Cape Town, and my wife says, no, let's go to Durban. Like, what? That's how much we actually love that part of the country. But then it's a beautiful city. If you check as well, Durban it's been said that it's one of the cities, if not the top city in Africa, where people are the happiest, or we can feel the happiest to go live there. So I just want to say from my side, truly speaking, I know I've got clients there, our fellow coaches are in there, and the rest of everyone who lives in there, what's happening there. We just want to say, you know what? We are with you, as you all know. I mean, we try our best to assist where we can, but we are with you in prayers and natural disasters. Yeah, so that's that. But now coming to the session today, we're going to talk about freedom. So when you think about freedom, a lot of people will know that, this is the month of freedom. We've got a Freedom Day coming up. Now, like, okay, so freedom, what is it? Now, a lot of people will attend political events, and there's probably another different, presentation or where freedom is concerned. But us people who are called, we are the solution givers to problems. We don't create more problems. We know that there are problems, and then because we give solutions, that is why the topic, that is why the platform where you come in here, where we are saying, you know what, a freedom is a solution to what problem? That's why we are here. So that's why we are sharing this with you. And I think this is something that will liberate you. This is something that's liberating. I just want to see my slides. Okay, not working with me here. All right. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying, you know what, when you're from South Africa, in South Africa, there is this something called Parliament, which is supposed to govern us. But you don't even need to go to a comedy show. There is governance, there is fun, it's all these things. So just to make this session more fun and make you more relaxed, so can I refer to you guys to this morning as honorable members, those who are in attendance. And I also want to, acknowledge the Action Coach South Africa. I see our leadership, Henry Welby-Cook and Peter Scholz, they are here. Thank you so much. And the community of awesome coaches that are part of this business. And from my side as well, my team and all my clients in attendance and all the clients from Action Coach, I just want to say protocol observed. I think by saying that, when you look at the picture next to you and you watch the Parliament, you know exactly now this is true protocol. So honorable members, we're in the house, please feel free and enjoy this session. Let me just quickly make this disclaimer to say that, from my side, I'm that guy. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm never politically correct, never, because the truth is the truth. And what do I mean by that? I've been having a privilege in my life to be taught by teachers who are honest, who will tell you the truth. So that is why, when you're politically correct, okay, let me not dwell into that. Point here is that I'm going to tell you the truth. If it's not politically correct, sorry, I'm not the guy that will find political correctness from me. I just learn from the truth, and that's what I'm going to give you. And then I have 3 principles in life, please. So I'm going to ask you, please, with whatever that you are doing, type on the chat box. if something, you know, we call it blinding flashes of the obvious, those aha moments. If something resonates with you, you want to share it with us, or you want to, you know, I'm not just the only one. I'm going to learn from you guys as well. We all want to learn from one another here. So please type, share your learnings, share your thoughts, so that this becomes an interactive session. And thank you, obviously. I mean, you know, that attitude of gratitude, it will always get you. You know, somebody said to me, you know what, if you want to be a billionaire, or if you want to be successful in life, you need to have attitude of gratitude. So it's interesting that sometimes, you know, people, you give somebody something, they can't even say thank you. Like, wow, these are such basic principles. And like I said, I'm sorry, I'm not politically correct. That's number one. And if I'm going to, you know, we call it rap on your cons or whatever, you know, if I'm going to step on your toes whatsoever, I'm sorry in advance where that is concerned. That is not the intention. The intention is just to learn. So this is the learning platform, guys. Let's be open-minded about it. Let's not get offended about anything. Let's just share the thoughts. And something very important that I started using lately, because I've been intentional about it. I'm one of those, you know, when they say the talent is leaving South Africa because we know exactly what's happening in our country. But the point remains, the fact remains, we still have a beautiful country, which, you know, we can even make it more beautiful by bringing in great talent, great people to become part of the solution of South Africa taking it forward. So I'm one of the people, you know, and I'm going to put it, like I said, I'm going to put it this way. This is fun. You know, when our white South Africans said, hey, that ticket to Australia, I am leaving. You know, this is a mess in this country. So I'm one of those duckies who said as well, who went to inquire and said, how much is that ticket to Australia? I'm also leaving, because this country, I'm not going to live like this, you know. So, but now, then I met Harry Welby Cook. I cannot believe it. This guy literally transformed me to be a proudly South African. Seeing exactly, you know what, it doesn't matter what happens in your country, you know, clean your own house. The grass is not green on the other side. And I always tell people, yes, I'll probably migrate, but that is just for adventure and stuff. But I think until the day I leave this world, I'll always have a business in South Africa. I'll always give my solutions to South Africa, and I'll participate with whoever is ruling this country to make sure that, you know what, it is a better place and stuff. So yeah, so those are just my disclaimers. So now, ladies and gentlemen, before I even continue, let me just tell you where we actually operate from. This phenomenal group of coaches, this beautiful business of ActionCOACH. You know, people look at us and always say, wow, man, you know, other coaches and stuff. What makes this company so great? What makes this company the best company in the world, the best coaching company in the world? It's one thing, and this is where everything starts. It all starts up here. It's mindset. And what gives us power? And I'm going to make an example. What gives us power in the industry? What makes us the leading people in the industry? It's the kind of mindset that we have. And I'm going to share just one. You will see how powerful this is. We call this one a point of power. All right. Now, what do I mean by this? People who may not understand this, let me tell you one thing that I actually realized before using this slide. What I realized is that when you look at right now, we have, like, for example, let's look at politically, let's look at the president who's running the country and all that. We have people who are saying they're in power. But what is happening while these people are in power? I'm going to show you something right now. We have people who call themselves we're in power, but they operate from blame. Everything that happens right now, 29 years later, we blame apartheid, excuses. I don't know. There are a lot of them which I cannot even go there. And denial that there's corruption and all this, there's nothing wrong and all that. So now, do you see? That's why, you know, that acronym that says bed, you made your bed, lie in it. Now we're talking about power. You cannot have power while you are blaming somebody, you have the excuse denial. Let me talk about myself. Come from a background, poverty, domestic worker mother, living in one-room shack, you know, 4 people in there, earning 200 Rand a month, finish school, you want to go to varsity. I don't even have 80 Rand to pay for varsity. But you know what? Now, if I stayed in that situation of blame excuses, so I made that bed and lied in it, I probably would not have done anything, assumed any power to get out of the situation. And I wouldn't be standing in front of you right now here. So what we operate from as coaches, we don't care what, not that we don't care. We are not oblivious to what has happened, where we are at and stuff, but we do not use blames and excuses and be in denial of the situation. And so what we then do, which is something that I'd like to share with you, which is what makes this coaches so powerful, make us powerful as ActionCOACH brand, is that we've got this culture, we call it point of power. If you want to be powerful, you are sitting in a leadership position. You have to move, you have to lead, you have to drive something. You need to be the person who knows how to take ownership. You need to be that person who can be accountable, who takes responsibility. You don't blame, you don't make excuses. You see, yes, it is what it is. But the best thing that you have is to take a responsibility, is to be accountable and ownership. I can go on and on with this slide. Literally, you can spend 50 minutes in this and transform some of your lives, or a lot of people's lives have been transformed from this slide over here. But all I just want to say is that as coaches, and this is exactly what I'm sharing with you if you've never seen this, if you want to make it in life, if you want to have this freedom that you're going to talk about, you're just going to have to, that bed that you made, lie in it, you're just going to have to get up, leave all the excuses, denial, and all that behind. Because now you see, when you're powerless, it's like a battery. What can you do? We're playing Xbox and then the battery is powerless now, it doesn't have power. You cannot even operate and move forward anymore. So what makes us the great people is that we are powerful, and what gives us that power, lead us in the industry, is because of this here. This is mindset. We understand what point of power is. Oh, you know what's an oh? We are drivers here. We take ownership, accountability, and we are responsible. So from that, ladies and gentlemen, and as South Africans, I believe if you want to have freedom, we need to operate, we call it operating above the point of power. That's where we should be, and stop making all this denial and blames and excuses and stuff. So that is just one. We have a lot of them, but that is just one mindset that I just want to share with you. That is why then when you look at every member of the community of Action Coach, you'll understand exactly what made these people, these phenomenal people that they are. All right. Now, freedom. As I said, I'm a South African. Now, we're talking about freedom. The first thing, ladies and gentlemen, so that I make sure, or let me call you honorable members, as I said in the beginning, just to make sure that, you are with me here. Let's position what we're talking about. Now, in the past, there was an advert in South Africa. Do you remember it? Are you free or are you dumb? So basically, freedom, it looks like it's two words. You are either free, or if you're not free, you are dumb. So immediately when I say that, you are sitting there and you're asking yourself, okay, am I free or am I dumb? Ask yourself that. You don't need to tell us, but just ask yourself if you are free or you are dumb. If you find yourself that you are dumb, by the end of this, by the end of this discussion here, I need you to be a free person. All right, so now from the dictionary, what the dictionary tells us, and first of all, I thought, as an academic, let's go to your, let's start with your, your academic explanation of freedom, quality or state of being free, such as the absence of necessity. Absence of necessity. You know what? I'm not going to dwell on that one. Coercion. But I think the most important one is this one, or constraints in choice or action. Wow. Freedom. When you are free to make choices in life, when you can make choices to, where you want to live, where you want to go, what you want to eat, what you want to wear. Isn't that what we actually live for? Isn't that what we strive for? Isn't that what we want? Can you imagine somebody who is in jail right now behind bars? They don't have much of this. They've got constraints in terms of choices, even the actions that they want to take. So now we are out here, we're literally in a platform where you can choose whether you are free or you are dumb, where you have actually choices or actions. The difference between those people who get freedom, who get to live their lives, at their own terms, is just the choices and the actions that they take. Talks about liberation from slavery. Now, here's the thing. This could be very academical, and this can be, yes, it's worth explaining it, but I want us to see this. I want us to feel it. And I need you guys to now, I hope, look here, I think there's nothing explicit here. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you guys to work with me here with the next following slides. Ladies, now we are talking about freedom here, right? When you look at that, the moment you take both your hands and you losing that that part that you are looking at over there, what do you feel? I don't want you to think it. Can you feel it? Tell me the feeling you have. Vusi Tembeko said this thing that I think we have in common, having a single mother. My mother would come back from work, and then, the first thing she would turn around and say, Thabo, can you please help me? And then I would like, you get the feeling of, So what do you feel when you're losing that thing? Now, that's the feeling of freedom we're talking about. Ladies, one best thing about you, you get up, you wear your heels, and then you go to work, you're standing there. And we men, we ask ourselves, they talk about supermen, not superwomen. But I think people who are super are literally women more than men. And then you get back home. The moment you take off that heel that you've been wearing the whole day, how do your feet feel? How does it feel? What kind of feeling do you get? That's what I'm talking about. Can you feel what freedom feels like? Not just that. Now, at the end of the day, whether you've been studying, you've been working hard and all that, the moment you throw yourself in that bed, those white sheets, they call them white sheets, Egyptian, what, I don't know, ladies can tell us better. You can educate us in the chat box. That feeling that you get, how does that feel? How does that feel? Now, this is what you call, when you talk about freedom and you want to know what freedom is, because we are saying it, but when you want to feel it, that's exactly how it feels like. Now, let's take it further and more intense. You go to the doctor, you suspected that maybe you had nowadays COVID, and then the doctor clears you and said, you know what, now you are good. How does it feel when they say you are free of this disease? Imagine somebody who, people who have cancer, when you go to a doctor there, and then after they checked and stuff, and they look at your results and they said, you know what, you are free of. You don't have cancer cells. You are in remission. You are free of. How does that feel? Do you get that feeling? Now, let's make it even more intense for that matter. Now, guys, we are in business. You are working hard on a concept, borrow time, you're trying to finish something, you get something right, wherever your business, you can think of any business challenge, when you overcome it, and then you get it, you get exactly what you've been looking for, or you get that solution that you've been looking for, as the picture demonstrates. Now, this is in your business. How does that feel? How does that feel? That feeling of, now that's the freedom that we are talking about. Okay, not just that, imagine you are as a business owner. In business, we're talking about, think about your cash flow. Think about your asset column, your liabilities and all this. Now, when you are sitting there and you look at your asset column is more than your liabilities, when you look at your expenses are actually lower and you've got cash flow coming in, you feel like, you've got that freedom. You don't have unnecessary calls, people calling you, harassing you, that you owe them. But rather you have people calling you and offering you products, people calling you, thanking you for your savers, all those kind of stuff. How does that feel? Okay, I hope you guys can still see me, because now it looks like that it's getting more intense, with this whole load shedding thing. Okay, now, not just that. Now, at the end of a long working, at the end of a long working year, you are able to take money without worrying as to what's going to happen and stuff. Okay, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just a small interruption, I think. What I'm just going to ask, I'm going to ask my team member will be busy trying to switch on the lights again, because remember, yes, I may be ambitious, but the point remains is that I'm a black man. I'm a bit dark, so the next thing that's going to happen, you're just going to see my teeth with this ESCOM. So let's try to avoid that. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So now what I was saying is that after a long year, you've worked hard, you are able to go relax without worrying that, I didn't pay the bills, I've got this debts looming behind me or whatever stuff. Now that's what you're talking about. When you lie down there, you can freely, listen to this word, it keeps on coming. You can just freely, think about other things. You can freely think about where else you are going, where you're taking your business. You can just relax your mind. That's what you talk about when you're talking about freedom, and this is exactly what your business should be. Should give you. Now, the question is, what kind of freedoms do we have out there? We've got a lot of freedom. We spoke about the health freedom and all that, but the ones that I just want to talk about are two kinds of freedoms, which is financial freedom and your time freedom. Because these two are literally the main reasons, because when I looked at it, and one of the things that as an action coach that our leaders get to hammer us on and make sure that they give us good direction on is that, you need to have goals. So I've got 3 goals in life. I've got a goal of financial goal, which is to get financial freedom, a time freedom, which gives me exactly, the time to be able to do things that we want to do. Why are those two important? Is that if you are in business and you don't have that bottom line, when you're in business and you run in the negatives and stuff, and then rather, your worry is more your debts, your expenses. When you don't have that positive bottom line of your business, meaning that your finances are in order, you cannot have freedom in that business. It hinders your thinking, it hinders you to innovate, all these things, negative things that literally they mess with you in such a way that you don't become functional. You're not able to operate optimally. So one of your goals need to be able to make sure that you get to that bottom line and you get it right. That's how you will actually get to that freedom, when you can sort out your bottom line. And then you also need time. We talk about working on your business. Now, that means less time in the business and more time on your business. As a business owner, you need to have time to focus on your vision, on the outlook, to see the trends. Even when COVID came right now, there are a lot of business owners, obviously there are businesses that could not overcome this, but a lot of businesses who were able to overcome this have got those leaders who have time, or who invest time, who put in time to be the CEOs, to be the leaders, to focus on the vision, to focus on the trends, to understand, working on your business, to understand, to create models, to work on your systems, work on the people, not stuck in there where you don't even see what's happening. That overview. It's like you're an umbrella. You look at it from the top like that. That's exactly what you should be doing. And that's what leaders should be doing in business. That's you as a business owner, you should be spending time on it, looking at it from the umbrella point of view, seeing exactly what's happening, being able to sort those things out. Because if you are stuck in there, you are not able to actually see that. You are not able to see the bigger picture. You are not able to see things from different perspectives. Sometimes you are not even able to know where you need to find help. That is why a lot of business owners, when they come to us as coaches, they come there because it's chaotic. They didn't even know they needed help until their finances were in shambles and they knew that you are losing this business. That's normally then when they turn around and they come. How nice will it be while things are going well, you get a coach so that they can just take you to the next level? Remember our vision that Harry said in the beginning, so that you are a thriving business. We don't want struggling businesses. There's one, classification, academic classification that I hate about businesses. We get startups, we get survivalists. Who want to be a survivor? We are not here to survive. We want to be, growing businesses. We want to be a growth business, and we want to be a thriving business. So these two kinds of freedom, I think this is where I'm just going to spend my time with you this morning. Now, the question is, how can your business bring you all this, or these two that are very important? Remember, when you have money, to those who say money is the root of all evil, but you can't eat, you can't have a house, you literally cannot do anything if in your mindset and the kind of relationship we have with money is the root of all evil. Now, the question also is that if that's how you see money as the root of all evil, or your finances, how do you then want that money to respect you? Because it's a scientific relationship somehow. You need to respect it, it needs to respect you, you need to be positive towards it, and that's exactly what will happen. So now, obviously, you want that, and then also, as I explained, you want to have time to live your life. There's a nice quote that says, what you need, what does it say? Time to live your life. I think this is something that Marilyn Powell, please go to her page. I love following it. I think there's one beautiful quote that she said recently. I can't remember. I just remember her beautiful picture that was there, but I can't remember the quote. Marilyn, can you please, I saw you are on the call. Can you share that quote about, working time and stuff? I can't really remember it for now. Yeah. So anyways, let's quickly dwell onto the financial freedom. What is financial freedom? I think there are dictionary explanations of financial freedom and stuff, but now, whether you are a startup, wherever you add in terms of the business growth, here's the thing: financial freedom. Okay, the equation of financial freedom here, or to me, this is an equation. I'm a very mathematical guy. I either use acronyms or I use equations in order to solve everything. So the equation here is that your assets need to be more than your liabilities. Even better or more practical, when you talk about financial freedom, we talk about, your income generation. Income generation from your passive or residual income, rental royalties, needs to be more than your living expenses, meaning that, and this is exactly what I've learned myself, because one of my goals was to say, okay, I need financial freedom. at this age. You know, the SMART goals, you need to have a timeline at this age. So what does that mean? It means the active income that I'm doing now from my businesses, it needs to give me that freedom, that financial freedom. And what does it mean? It means that whatever I do, I use for my money. And you see, a lot of people explain this. Now, let me give you my explanation and understanding of it, is that whatever I do with my money, I need to pay myself first, right? Paying yourself first, what does it mean? It means you need to buy those assets, those income or cash generating assets. You know, like, for example, if you've got your properties and stuff, they will obviously generate income for you, rental income. But what is nice is that, you know what, that capital that you actually invest, all this money that you put and invest, it's untouched, you still have it. So they are generating money for you. Then you don't need to work, you don't need to get up in the morning. And this is so nice because it ties in with a beautiful explanation of business that we're going to get down into right now as I bring you closer to how practically do we achieve this. So I'm having these assets that, so my money, the first thing, well, a big bulk of my money goes into what? Getting myself assets, which are what? Which will what? These assets are the ones that must work and generate income for me. So I don't need to take my active income and put it into expenses, because then that's hand to mouth, you know, that's exactly what happens, that hand to mouth situation. That's exactly what happens. It's not freedom, because you are just sometimes one paycheck or two, depending on your savings, even when your savings finish, away from poverty. So that's not what you want. Our businesses are a tool to give us this freedom, financial freedom, whereby you can use it, you can make as much money as possible, you can buy as many assets as possible, and these assets need to generate you that money. That's when you talk about your passive, your residual income, all these royalties and stuff. But the moment they are more than your living expenses, that would be your for example, your financial freedom number. Let me make an example. If, let's say, I want to live, I'm saying, you know what, my living expenses are 80,000 a month. My financial freedom number is that I need to at least get 100,000 a month passively, or from all those mentioned entities there. It means that, let's say, for example, I need to have about 40 million cash in the bank. And let's say, for argument's sake, I am getting returns of 5% per annum. When you calculate it, how much is it per annum? Let's say it gives you about maybe 1.2 million and stuff. That's how. So now, meaning that just from what I have invested, my asset generating or income generating assets are giving me this much. I actually don't need to get up right now. You know, I've got things that work and make me money, my money giving me money. And that's when you reach your financial freedom. Who wouldn't want to do such? And the business is that vehicle to give you that. Okay. Now, time. Talking about the time freedom, the critical question here is that we always ask people. And this is a very sad question, because, you know, they say many are called and few are chosen. Now, you ask people, you said, okay, if money was not an issue, what is it that you do with your time? And this is so sad, because a lot of people, then you'll see, a lot of people will sit there. You ask them in a workshop, in a space where they are actually at work, and you find majority of them becoming sad, because whatever that they're doing at the time is not exactly what they would actually, if money was not an issue, you know, is not.
We seem to have lost Thabo there. The signal obviously not playing game with the load shedding. So we'll give an opportunity for Thabo just to come back online. I'm sure you'll sort it out soon. Maybe type in there, you know, do you currently have time and financial freedom in your business? Yes, if you do. No, if you don't. Because I think it is black and white. It's not as simple as, well, maybe. No, you either have time freedom and financial freedom, or you don't. And your business is that vehicle to provide for that. But Thabo said something very important around the goal. If you don't set the intention of the goal to have that freedom, whatever that freedom may be for you, and whatever level of freedom you need for you, you will get sidetracked, you will get distracted, you will get other people to make their priorities yours, because you don't have the priority that overrides or overpowers theirs. And I think that a lot of us end up getting into that spiral where we're running on the treadmill, and we're not getting anywhere fast enough. So we run faster. and harder. We sweat more, we put in more effort, but we're running on the treadmill instead of moving towards the direction that we actually want to go. We're making sure that everybody is kept happy except ourselves. And in working with a client recently, shared with them a quote that I really love, but it's really profound in the sense that, a good business is one where the owner of the business is stressed, a little concerned, a little worried, and the staff are really happy. They're relaxed, they're comfortable, they're happy. The definition of a great business is one where the owner of the business is relaxed and happy, and the staff are a little stressed and a little worried. Because you as a business owner provide and guide and lead, not just for yourself and your family, but your staff, their families, and all the other people you impact through suppliers, customers, and clients. That's a really important, responsible role. And if you are not sustained, you cannot sustain that. And I think what we've seen is particularly the last 2 years, some businesses have been doing really, really well and making more money than ever before. Some have been really just flat, kind of working much harder, but sustaining the similar levels. And some have really been struggling or bit down and out. Here's the reality as a business owner. Effort out versus money back needs to be in relation. Energy out versus return on that energy needs to be in balance. Time investment versus the return on that time needs to be in balance. And if it isn't, that's when we get frustrated. That's when we get distracted. That's when we reinforce procrastination. That's when we get tired. And at the ultimate level of that, you end up with things like burnout and other issues. So very important to drive this purposefully and strategically. Unfortunately, I see Thabo's go back online again. So Thabo, obviously the gremlins of the load shedding, but great to have you back with us.
Okay, now thank you. My apologies, guys. Is this HCOM? Yeah, I think I was on this slide, and now let me just get back to it. I got so angry that I don't even know. What are you talking about? Freedom? Yeah, okay. Now, remember I told you about a point of power, so I need to go back there. All right, so now getting back to time. Now, when you talk about time freedom, I think we spoke about financial freedom. I explained from my perspective where it's from the learnings that I've put together. It's not an opinion. This is, derived from a collective effect. So now talking about freedom, for me, this is just living life at your own terms. Now, does that mean that time freedom meaning that you don't need to work? No, you work. But the best part here is that you get to work on, you've got time to actually work on what you want to work on things that you love. Like, for example, the business that I do, as you heard from when I went into medicine, my passion was people. I just wanted to help people. But then when I got in there, I realized that me helping people does not mean you people don't want to go to work. And then the help that you need is for me to actually, now as a business owner, I understand it. Now I must give you a sick certificate so that you don't go there, you are delaying production and whatever else, for a business owner here, the business is not functioning because that's what you want. And that's the kind of help that you want from doctors. So that didn't work well for me. So that's why, but no, I realized, there is, I realize that life is business. Solutions that come to any problem is business. And that's where I realized this is where, my passion lies. So working, I would say, having time freedom doesn't mean not working, because work for me, that's honor, that's my purpose. That's why I've been given the gifts and the capabilities and abilities that I have. And that's the way I express myself to the world. The time to be able to create and to innovate. In South Africa, politically, we call everyone, the government will call you entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs start businesses and do that. But then entrepreneurs are not really entrepreneurs. I will show you right now. These are people who've just gone and created jobs for themselves. But then you don't actually have time to innovate, to think. Elon Musk says something that when you're a CEO, you don't spend time in your boardroom. A real CEO is the one who spends time, you are innovating, you are thinking, you are refining your product. and making it better and stuff. So as entrepreneurs, we are here to innovate, to create, to come up with those solutions solutions to the problems that we have in the country. And this is exactly what time freedom will give you. You have time to work on your business, not just get sucked into the operations of your business. Now, the time to travel, this is for me. Now you can share yourself exactly. What do you need your time to do? The time for me, my brain and my soul, this is the brain and soul exercise. People who travel, you get different, it opens up your mind. You get to see different places. You get to see different climates, different weathers, different people speak differently, different currencies, different everything. Now that opens your brain as well, and also for your soul. It's very good for my soul. But most importantly, that the time for family. Because for me, there's nothing as important to me like my family. That is why, when you are meant to have this, even in the Bible, that gift of holy matrimony, which is something that I know I have. So very passionate, very deliberate about, having family and exactly what I do. So that is very important for me, that I have time for my family. I'm a father. I have time to raise these kids. I have time to coach them in a way that I know that there won't be a problem to the world, but make a world a better place and stuff. Now that's time freedom and stuff. Now I'm coming closer to the end. So let's get down now to the, I think, main course, closer to the dessert. Now, how does your business give you this freedom? Let's take it back now. Let me just quickly explain with this slide. Let's take it back to what we call, I think this has become the, the global financial education, module or book, your book of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, where it teaches you. So if you understand these 4 quadrants over here, on the left, that okay, you earn money, or you make money, or you create money, the left side and the right side. So now let's quickly talk about this in order to get to our freedom. What will give you freedom? So now the question is, can you get a freedom as an employee where actually you spoke about this, you exchange your time for effort. So you are not in control of your time. You exchange your time for effort. So you cannot say you have time freedom when you're an employee. Yes, you can have. I am not saying, because remember, as business, we cannot have businesses. We cannot have an employer without an employee. So there's always, upside and downside to these things. So there's nothing bad here. It's just the choices. If you choose that I'm not a risk taker, I'm not the one who's going to go become madness and take all risk. If things go wrong, I'm the one who has to take the risk. I'm the one who's going to go down. I just want to be riskless, but still have platform to, to showcase my skill, to live my purpose and all this. Then you become an employee, less risky, but the most risk is with you now, because, for example, if you've got a car, you are paying it, you lose your job 3 months later, they come and take it and all that, So that's the thing about it. The time freedom is actually not that great in that space. If you are looking for freedom, that's why you talk about freedom in your business here. Being self-employed, this is exactly what happens. And I just want to address this, my fellow South Africans, because a whole lot of us right now, we're in this situation where there's a whole lot of unemployment and they could start a business. But now, if I had to ask you a question right now, you guys who are on this call this morning, how many of you had to literally stop your operation, close your businesses in order for you to be able to come in here, which is part of your self-development, to come and learn? If that be the case, and how many of you, the only way for whatever the operations you have to run is when it's you doing them, nobody else. They all depend on you. Then you are self-employed. And also, but the nice part about this self-employment as well is that when you look at it, for example, if you look at your doctors, your specialists, you can be self-employed, can be a knowledge specialist. Sometimes it's something that you cannot even outsource to other people, you do it yourself. But the reality of the situation is you have to do it. Only you can do it. It will only work if you do it. And you don't, also the time freedom where this is concerned is not that great. Even though the financial, so what you do is that if you are able to be at that level where you have a business where you're self-employed, the best part about this is that what you then can do is that with the money that you make, is there where you need to now to strive, before you even get to time freedom, to strive for financial freedom, where you need to use that money to do what? To invest it, to create those assets that generate income. That's the only way then you will come out of the self-employment. Or the easiest way, which is the best way. That's why we exist as coaches and we can help you. We get a lot of clients who come in and they're self-employed. One of the first quick wins that we give them is that, okay, let's move from self-employment to the right quadrant. Okay, we need you to have a business. What is business? It's simple in layman. When you have people and systems working for you. And this one also, you know that thing when you have a coach, it's one of those things when you make mistakes. I would talk as a coach, I talk to my coach, Marilyn Powell, and I would come one of the, okay, so what are the grievances today? Yeah, the staff member is doing this. And the first question should always ask that, what systems do we have in place for these people? So what do we mean? B-side, what you need to do, you take that time, what do you do? You create those systems that can actually govern the people, or the people can use, and people use systems, and people follow systems and all that. And in that cycle, then you are able to have what you call a business, which are people and systems. I'm going to give you now, you will see from this one, how does it tie in with our definition of business as action coaches here. So when you have the people and systems working for you, A for a way, then you have business. That's where your freedom starts, actually. So first of all, first have business, and then learn how to create freedom. And by freedom, you will have to have people, have systems. Now, what is even more critical when you think about South Africa? Why do we need to have other people in our business? If we are talking about high unemployment rate, your business can give you freedom. The business can help the country achieve freedom by giving other people employment. You see, your task is bigger than even yourself. That's how you can actually save the country. Give other people employment, give them a platform to be employed. But what is nice for you as well, what's in it for you, is that these people will help you build the business. These people are the ones who run the operations on a daily basis and give you that freedom to innovate, to think, even the freedom just to have time to do other things. That's what business is. Even better, now you are creating this business, you've got systems, you've got the people, you are that useful human being in the country, whereby you are contributing towards the problems, the biggest problems that we have. That's why I documented in that document, NDP 2030, which are the goals of the country, to create employment. So now you are one of those people who are actually contributing towards that active, serious solution to such a big problem that we have. Now you are creating that, you are having employees and stuff. Now for yourself, you want freedom for yourself now as well. That's when you become an investor. There's a whole lot of ways that how investment contributes towards the country's, economic development as well. But the nice part about it is that once you're an investor, which is what you're talking about, that's when you reach that financial freedom where all these assets that you've worked hard to actually build, to buy, to create, they then make you money. Then at this point, you literally don't need to be working hard in order for you to make money, because your money is making you money. What is the most important? What is the best part about this? Because now when you are thinking about this, you start thinking, so you stop working, you stop working. When you look at people who have reached this level, like your Bill Gates and Melinda Foundations, the impact that these people have in the world is massive. That is why when you think about it, Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, they've got a lot of money. Now they've got this foundation that is contributing so massively towards towards helping the world becomes a better place. This is where you realize money is not the root of all evil, as long as it's used correctly. I know the Bible says the love of money, but you create all this in order to contribute towards making the world a better place. So, honorable members, now when you're talking about the freedom and you want to get freedom in your business, you first of all need to have a business, people and systems. That's how you will lead to have freedom yourself. That's how you'll contribute towards the country having the freedom that it's having. Yeah, there are these freedoms that are being mentioned somehow. Like I'm saying, there's political freedom that is mentioned differently versus the true freedom, which is business. What is business? Business is, we have problems. It is just the solution to all the problems that we have, including those political problems that we have. So we have so much. Actually, the pie is so big for all of us in order to get into business and solve problems. So this is just that summary of your financial education. So once you understand this, you'll know exactly how to get to that freedom. Now, let's bring it even closer to home, which is where I'm going to leave you. Now, the Action Coach's definition of a successful business, or that business that we have, or a commercial profitable enterprise that works without you. When you say that works without you, we don't mean you shouldn't be working. We're talking about your systems, your teams. The team, those people that you have, if it's working without you, it means you've created a business for bigger purpose than just yourself, for other people, to help other people, to give other people, not just work. A lot of people have talents and they need platforms like our businesses to come and actually grow themselves, and they are happy to do that. That's why, they always say everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. Yes, Bread Sugars will tell you, yes, everyone must be an entrepreneur. But I think in all truth, in reality, is that not everyone must be an entrepreneur. Because as entrepreneurs, when we create this entity, this commercial profitable enterprise, if it works without you, then you need people who will work in it. And you are happy to do so without taking a risk. So that's why the team is very important. And as Action Coach, that's exactly that will help you build that so that you've got that team that works without you, that has got systems working for it. But very important, guys, that in red, very profitable. As you can see, the biggest problem that we have, that's why we call it the bottom line. We can say money is the root of all evil. Even the church itself, if it does not have money, it cannot operate, it cannot function, So we need that commercial profitable enterprise that works without you. And that's exactly what we talk about when we talk about business. And this is what we call freedom. First of all, it works without you. So you can do other things. The other best part is that once you know how to create one of this and you understand it and it works without you, and you're an innovator, you're a creator, you can create more of this, and make that world a better place. Okay. Now, the model that you can use to do this, if you are sitting in here and you're in business and you ask yourself, how can the business work without you? Because here's another problem in South Africa now, especially if you are going out there. Let's say, for example, you are looking for support, you are looking for funding. They will tell you that you need to be operational. You need to be in that business. You need to be running the business you need to be the employee of the business. And you're asking yourself, but now how does it work without me? Whatever. But there are steps to this. Obviously, yes. Even if you buy a franchise, one of the, I know for sure, one of the, one of the conditions there is that you need to be running it yourself. Now, how do you then achieve this for it to work without yourself? That's the model here. All you need to do, I don't know, I can't speak for other people, but all you need to do right now is that you need to have a coach. There are a lot of coaches out there, which I don't know what models they use, where they come from, who's teaching them, how they do things, how do they test and measure. But with Action Coach, I can tell you right now, the model is simple. We spoke about to get financial freedom, you get a coach who's going to help you increase those sales and those profits with all the strategies that we have in our models and stuff. You want to free your time, you need a coach. We don't just do, like I said, we are not just transactional, we're transformational as well. Help you also with your personal development and all that. But the moment you achieve the financial freedom and you are able to create, you can have a financial freedom, obviously. But what you want, we spoke about it, in order to get the time freedom, is you need to have that system, the system of people and processes that can actually run your business. And this is exactly what we do. And how do we do that? Now, this is my dessert for you, what you can actually take home. If you've been part of Action Coach, if you've been part of Action Coach's workshops and stuff, you probably have seen this. But let me just give it from my side, just to summarize exactly what I'm saying. So now you want to get to that freedom. And what is freedom? You have your business that you are building, and you want to get it to that place of freedom where it frees you. You have time freedom, financial freedom. You can sell this business. You are free to sell it. You are free to pass it to the next generation. You are free to franchise it, put it in same market, different places, and grow it so that you can what will contribute towards your financial freedom for that matter, you can get your royalties and stuff. This is exactly what will get you out there. So if you've never seen this, pay attention. If you've seen it, pay even closer attention so that you can make sure that, after this, make sure you contact an action coach, any action coach to work with you to get you to your freedom. So how do we do this? There are just 6 steps. It's not a lot, just 6 steps that are scientifically proven, steps that are worked out properly that you can actually follow. The first step that we need to get to is a step that you call your mastery. You need to get your business into that stable place. All that chaos that we have, where you know exactly that, everything that's going to happen in your business, there's A to Z manuals as to how is this going to work. Okay, you need to master your business, and this is how you actually get to commercialize it. All right, After your business is mastered and you've got that stability, the next thing that needs to happen, you need to find a niche for your business. A lot of businesses are not working and are not making money. They don't have predictable cash flow. They don't have predictable clients because they don't have a niche. And that's exactly the second step, that we help you to find a niche in the market. That thing that you call a competitive advantage, your competitive edge, your differentiator, what makes you better than others. What gets into the people that you get exposed to, into their subconscious. For example, a lot of you get up in the morning, you want food, where do you go? In your subconscious, you get into the car, you don't even plan it. You go straight in there to Woolworths, or you go Checkers, wherever where you go to, because they've got that niche that they have built. They've got that, they are built on their competitive advantage, or what differentiates them, or that unique selling proposition that they have. It's here in your subconscious. And I think that's what you want for your business. You want people, once they have come up, get exposed to your business, once they've bought once, then it becomes into their subconscious, it becomes, or even those who see it, you want that predictable clients, knowing that, what, my strategies work. I get clients out of this, and the clients are coming to your business, then you get that predictable cash flow running into your business. Okay, once you have that, then when you're talking about you have cash, now you use that money reinvesting into your business. You get to that third step. You need leverage. What is leverage? You just want to work once and get results throughout. Okay, throughout, either forever, or you do the work once and then it pays you over and over again, and your business is efficient. And this is what we call about systemization. When you have systems, saving yourself time, energy, and money. That's what you want to get to. When you talk about the first 1,000 days of business, this is exactly what you are building, making sure that your business has got systems and all that. So when it finishes, like your McDonald's, where you ask yourself, yes, as this business works, you just get into this point A, point B, everything just works like that. That's what you need to do when you're building a business, not hustlership. You just want money, and then, money in, money out. There's another opportunity to leave this one, you go there, you had employees, you just leave them in the limbo. No, we are building here. And business builders, this is what we follow. And then the fourth thing, once you have this, now there is money in that business, and then this business has got systems that work, so that if there are problems, and my coach, Marlene Powell, will always ask me, what systems are in place? When you're saying this person is doing this, what systems are in place that they are following? Oh, no, there's no system. Okay. So you see now how these two marry each other. Now you have that, you can bring in people. The problem here is that if your business is not systemized, and you don't have, it doesn't have mastery, it's still in chaotic point and stuff. You bring in people into that business, this is how you lose talent. This is how you lose the best people, because people don't want to come into chaos. So the moment you want the best people to work for your business, it needs to be a best place. You want the best people, you need to be the best business owner by creating the best platform for people to come in. And another point that I always make, that I've realized, is that when you start your business is at that level one, this is what the owners is doing. If you start your business is there, those people that you bring in that you cannot actually pay, they are not employees, they're actually your business partners, helping you build your business. When you bring in employees, the team, people that you need to pay, your business needs to have that money to pay them. So that part of your systems is to have that employment contract where you can tell them exactly what they need to do and how much you're going to pay and all that. So we help you build all this. This is our model to help you to get to a freedom, and this is how you build your business together. Now, once you have built your business, has no chaos, there is money, there are systems, and then you've got a team. Guess what? You get it to that level of synergy. It's a well-oiled machine. This is where that team you've been building, probably you've been building strong people that you can duplicate yourself. Team and systems, now you can duplicate yourself. You can have one of them to lead, which is why they came into your business. People want to get in there. They want to get to that position where you're at, where you have a synergy. This is where now you're starting to actually achieve freedom. You get that time to do time freedom that you spoke about. But then where you want to get your business, finally, is that last step where your business can either be a business that is an entity that gives you a passive income. That passive income contribute towards you having what you called about your financial freedom. Remember that you don't need to get up in order for you to go and make money. That's exactly what needs to happen. Your business, you need to give. You can keep it for that passive income. You can sell it, for profits in the future. Sell it today for those profits that they've given you in the future, and then that's how you can actually also achieve your financial freedom. Franchise it and get money from the royalties, which is what in South African economy today, the way the economy is, where we need jobs and stuff, we cannot have people starting businesses to create jobs for themselves. We need people who start businesses for the bigger purpose than themselves. in that you create a business. What is a business? You focus on creating the systems and creating that high performance team, or creating the team that is going to do this, which is where the employment comes in. So when we have that, then you can achieve, you can franchise that businesses and put it somewhere. It will do the same thing that it's doing. And this is how we'll actually achieve what you call combat this unemployment. We cannot be funding self-employed people, startups. Look, there are obviously different situations here, but the best way to do that as quick as possible is to get people who build businesses up to that level, businesses that work, businesses that are finished, put them in different places, and then they can, with immediate effect, like the president will say, employ people and also contribute towards the economic development. So this is actually how you can achieve freedom to your business. That's the model that we use as action coaches, like I showed you, the coaches that we are. So if today you are here today, that's how you can achieve the massive results. That's how you can get freedom from your business. You just need to build it to that step 6 and finish it. Basically, when it's finished, you can exit it. It will work without you. Commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, some of the benefits of this freedom that you'll have. Imagine everyone is abundant. Go back and look exactly what Harry said as well about when he started, about our vision and mission of Action Coach in Africa, the abundance part. Imagine if everyone was abundant. Who would steal from any person? That's why the crime will go. Then there'll be less crime, obviously, but most of the people mind. You don't want to always be called because you're owing people and all this. But most importantly, it will give you choices and all the other benefits that you should put in the chat box and share with us that this freedom will give you. Now, the question that I would like to close with: one, do you want this freedom? Do you want a business to run you? Do you want to live your life being consumed by this thing you call a business? This is what you do with your life. It's doing is giving you stress, is running you. Or are you willing to pay the price to get to that freedom, to have that commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you? Are you willing to get help and invest in yourself, in your business, in order to get it? If these are your desires, and you want your life to be transformed from today, and have that freedom in your business, if you didn't know how, I'm sure by now you know. It's simple. Just go to actioncoach.com. Wherever area you are in, whether KZN, any part of the country, any part of the continent, there is a coach that will be allocated to you that you can work with. We all use the same models anyways. It doesn't need to be a specific coach in your area. That's nice. Somebody you can actually go through and get to know, get closer to, attend their events and all that. That's what we can help you achieve. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my story. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much. Back to you, Harry.
Thank you very much, Thabo. And, lots of food for thought. And I think especially as you were talking right up front, when you shared those different examples, that feeling of freedom. It's fine to talk about the theory of it, but that feeling of freedom is in a lot of things. It's in time and money, which Thabo spoke about our business should provide for us. But it's the freedom of stress. It's the freedom of worries. It's the freedom to know that I'm living up to my potential and my purpose. It's the freedom to know that I'm making an impact and a contribution. And we know that if we impact businesses, we impact everything. And therefore, even next month's session in the series, we're going to talk around how my business and your business and every one of our businesses can solve the unemployment problem, which I believe is still the only problem we have in South Africa. If we fix that, we fix everything else. So make sure that you attend the next event. Also, if you have anybody that you think needs to be on these events, needs to engage with a coach, you're welcome. I put in the chat box there, you're welcome to leave their details and refer them to us, because the more businesses that thrive, the more we all thrive. And can you imagine if we as a collective community of entrepreneurs and businesses really create that abundance that Thabo was speaking about? So if you've got any questions, please type them in. Let's use the time that we still have with Thabo to ask some really personal, particular questions for your business. And we can see how that, what we've covered on today can add freedom to you and your business at the end of the day. I just want to go back here, Thabo. There was a question earlier on, maybe more of a comment, but I think it warrants a little bit of discussing. From Duduzile, saying, for me, the challenge is that I need business so that I can employ more people and get up those systems. So I need business, need more clients, need all those things to do what you've been speaking about today. Other than, of course, taking on an action coach, going to the website, using all the resources, watching all the videos, doing everything else. What would your advice be to Duduzile?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the question, Duduzile. First of all, let me tell you something, the story that I shared. And this is the common thing that has been happening to me throughout my life. When I got to medical school, I remember when I was doing my second year, and I'm this person now. I'm the only medical student who's singing for the university choir. And everyone would gossip behind my back and say, this one is going to fail. And I took on a challenge. I said, there's no way I will. But then when I got to my second year, I got very overwhelmed. And there was this subject called microbiology, where our senior said to us, you get in there, you are going to fail. And I thought to myself, nice challenge. I want to see if I will fail, but I know I won't. I'm that guy. If you dare me, try to do it. That's actually, I thrive from negative motivation than positive motivation. So I'm taking long, but we'll see where this is going. So when somebody gives me a negative motivation, that's somehow that gives me the challenge that I get it right. So I get to second and I decided. So this subject that they said I'm going to fail, I went to the person who's giving the subject, Ms. Struve, and I went and I said, Ms. Struve, I'm struggling. I can't cope. I need you to be my mentor. And she said to me, no problem. I'll be your mentor. And guess what now? I've got a mentor of the same subject that they said I will fail. Now, I had to have time with her to help to mentor me in general as a person. But at the same time, I got that competitive advantage for her to actually help me to master this. And I aced it at the end of the day, despite the fact that we were writing a test I remember was from a conference of Medical Student Association in Cape Town after driving 11 hours. Now, that's where the mentor I had throughout my, my medical school. And then when I went into business, I remember I was in business school at the university. I went to Prof. Johan van Zyl and I asked him, you know what, Prof, I want to start a business, but obviously, I'm not from a business world, so can you help me? Then I had a mentor there who has helped me to actually start up and build my businesses. I get into business, I started doing well, and I became a serial entrepreneur, many businesses. Now I'm getting overwhelmed, I don't know what to do. Then I met a coach called Diederik van Niekerk, one of the great coaches I believe ActionCOACH has had as well, very disciplined person, person who practices what he preaches. So he became my coach. And immediately I remember one of my businesses, the first quarter, I increased the profits like by 300% and stuff. That's the help that I got, somebody who knows better than me. I became an action coach. Now as an action coach, when I started, what also helped me and accelerated me to know what I'm doing, then I had a coach, Marlene Powell, she's here on the call as well. Now this is a person who is showing me the ropes. Every month I have a coach, and it will be quick. We have a call where we'll sit there, coach me about the business itself and all that, So what am I saying to Duduzile? If you want to start a business and you don't know how to start a business, even if you know, it's always the best to have somebody who knows better than you. And I'm not saying this is not a sales pitch from the fact that I'm a coach, that we don't need clients actually. Clients need us. We have the knowledge as a coach. Even if I don't have clients, I can use this for other businesses and start other businesses and stuff. So if I have to answer you to start a business, if you are in business, if you want to get those things right, if you want those questions answered, get somebody who knows better than you, and who better than a coach. Now, can I just say, add this one as well to say, a lot of guys come to you as a coach and say, can you please mentor me? There's a difference between a mentor and a coach. You see, as a coach, if you pay me as your coach, I become like your partner in your business. We work together. Everything is specific tasks, specific activities, specific goals. We need, literally, I work with you. A mentor is just somebody that you ask, oh, I want to be like you. Okay. You can ask them questions, they can show you here and there. But as coaches, you work with them. And what am I talking about? Messi has got a coach. The best team in the world has got a coach. Ronaldo coaches, everyone, tennis, whatever. These people have coaches. So what makes you think that you can run a business without somebody who knows better than you and better than a coach? So bottom line, get somebody who knows better than you, and a coach is that person. So that's the answer to your question. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Thabo. And Tiana, for your comment here around, need a business coach, can't afford one. I think, we've got a range of different coaching programs from, affordable to intense, depending on the size of the business. But if you really can't afford a coach or a mentor, go to the website, download the resources, put in the effort, get the skill that you need to take you to that level where you can then use that as a springboard. And there's so much information. If you go via the YouTube channel, you'll see not just this entrepreneurship series, our Thriving Women Summit that we do every Women's Day, videos coming out of your ears, literally, to get the information. Because, if you look at the question 2 around business, I had this with a client yesterday. In business, we have to sell. So we have to get better at doing that. How do we do that? Well, we learn, we talk to people, we improve a little bit, we implement, we learn some more, we improve a little bit, we implement, we learn some more. So it's one step at a time, which I think is the important one. Some other questions here, Thabo?
Sorry, Harry, before you pass, may I please make a comment on that one as well? When people say they cannot afford the coach, remember, it goes back to what now the mindset that you spoke about. Also, when you said, I was once in a conference room with Robert Kiyosaki, and somebody said, I can't afford it. He said, stop. He said, okay, what did you say? He said, I can't afford it. Stop. And this lady went like, huh? She was becoming uncomfortable. Be careful of the words that you use. First of all, you can't afford it. That's the first thing I'll tell you. Be careful of the words that you use, because remember, our actions follow our belief system. If you believe you can't, what did Henry Ford said? Henry or Henry Ford? No, it was Henry. Sorry, Henry. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you can't, you right anyway. So that mindset thing. Now, let me make a practical example. When I wanted to go to varsity, I needed 80 rand to go there, but I could not afford it. But I don't remember even knowing the word I can afford. All I knew is that, okay, how can I get this? So I went to my teacher. I said, you know what, I need 80 rand. I can wash your car every Friday for 20 rand, but you advance me this 80 rand for the application. And that's how I got to apply for university. Now, as a business person, where I'm at, if I needed a coach, let's say, for example, I need a loan from the bank, I'm not going to say I cannot afford a loan from the bank. The first thing I'll do, I'll go to the bank, I'll sit down with the consultant and tell them boldly, I'll show up and tell them, okay, I'm going to need a 10 million loan, right? So tell me, what do you need from me? Get to know exactly what do they need. Because here's the thing that happens here. People tend to, in their heads, they look at our brand, which is true, it's a premium brand. This is BMW, okay? Sorry for those who drive Toyotas. Okay, so now, you look at the brand and said, I can't afford this. Only to find out that actually you can. So I go to the bank and ask them, what do you need? Get the script and get the memo to know what they need. The advice I'll give you now, if you're sitting here, whether you can afford a coach or not, don't decide. How about you go talk to that coach? That free, that complimentary session that's given, go find out from that coach that what is it that is needed for you to afford this. You'll be surprised that you can actually afford it. Or the coach, there's Harry mentioned, how they can actually help you quickly to actually get to afford this and accelerate you to the next level. So that's my comment here, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Marvin, it speaks to your comment here. If I can't afford it, do I go back to being an employee? No, not necessarily. It's how do I find what I need, whether I need the mentor, the knowledge, the money. As human beings, we're so resourceful. If we set the intention, we'll find it. But if we set the obstacle, well, we'll find the obstacle too. And that's very, very important. Just looking through the questions here, a lot of comments and stuff like that. I think the reality too about time and financial freedom, if we have to make the money, we will. And I always use the example around children. Thabo spoke about he's a family man and he looks after his kids. None of us had money when we had our first children, enough to actually provide for them. But because we have to now make more, we have to look after them, they're dependent on us, we make more money. And as children get older, those of you that have children, they get a lot more expensive. Well, then we just find more money, we make more money because we have to. It's the same with your business. It's in setting that intention. Thabo mentioned it. Pay yourself first. Look at that quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and consciously drive your way through those quadrants. Not in the passenger seat. As an entrepreneur, you have to be in that driver's seat. And everybody can be an entrepreneur. But it comes with the effort. It comes with the dedication. It comes with the resilience to bounce back because there will be challenges. And the more dedicated you are and the more disciplined you are, the success you will get. So Thabo, no more real questions. Maybe some closing comments from you. You know, people have listened to this. They've got a lot of value from it. They're going, yeah, I need that time and financial freedom. Other than, of course, engaging with us in the coach, visiting the website, everything we've already shared. What's some motivational words for those listening today as we close?
All right. So just before I get to that, there's a comment that I thought, I should make. I think that was from the previous comment you made from the chat box about, I think the person spoke about, should you go back to being, employed if it's not working out and stuff. I just want to make this comment, and which is one of our mindsets that we have. When you talk about that identity iceberg, when you stand in front of the mirror and you look at yourself, what do you see? Okay. As an entrepreneur, now, one of the things, if you need to get into business, you need to have that, adopt the mindset and have the identity of an entrepreneur. What does that mean? When you look at yourself and, first of all, you need to have that knowledge and know what an entrepreneur is. Things like your resilience, being resilient. Entrepreneurs are those people, they stop at nothing to get what they want. So being an entrepreneur, understanding the characteristics of an entrepreneur, those are things that are embedded within you and inside you that are just waiting to be unleashed. So when the opportunity presents, when people are closing doors at you, or when the opportunity presents, you don't know what you don't know. When the opportunity presents that you need to have knowledge and you think you can't afford a coach, as an entrepreneur, go check exactly what are the characteristics of an entrepreneur, that resilience, that willingness to learn and all this. This is where you can go, when you say sell ice to an Eskimo, you can literally get coached even if you cannot afford it and stuff. So know yourself, have the identity of an entrepreneur that you are. And once you know which ones to use to pull out when you need them, you will stop at nothing. We are people who stop at nothing to get what we want. Just remember that one. So I think that will form a part of my closing comments. But other than that, what I just want to say is that, I think we are truly speaking. Yes, the information that I've shared today, the information that we are sharing, what we have, most of the things, everything looks good and it's as good as it looks. But the reality of the situation here is, and the reality of our lives, the reality of our economy, the reality of where we at is that it's not that easy. That's why Jim Brown said, don't wish your life were easier. Wish rather you were better or you were tougher and stuff. So now for you to navigate the situation, for you to still have freedom, for you to still live peacefully in this world full of crime, full of hunger, full of poverty. It all starts here. And I've seen it. If you want to be great, study the great people. So if you study these great people, the battle is won in the mind. So adopt the right mindset. You want to go into business, have a positive mindset, understand the mindset of an entrepreneur, the mindset of a business, even when things are tough. That mindset is what will get you through it. So very important to get the mindset, and more importantly, please get informed, get education. That's what institutions like ActionCOACH is here for. Seek first the knowledge. That is my principle. Seek first the knowledge. When you know better, you will do better. I believe that's why we have this. These are knowledge platforms. People who know better, do better. So yeah, I think those are the things that I can say. Other than that, I wish you guys all well and everything of the best. And may God bless the work of your hands as we are all striving to make this world a better place. With that being said, back to you, Harry. Thank you so much for the opportunity once more.
Thank you, Thabo. So for those listening on Zoom, Eva's typed in the link where if you're not a client already, you can register for your complimentary session. If you're listening to this on Facebook Live, go to the website and register for your complimentary coaching session. And don't forget to share this platform as well as the opportunity of a business coach with those around you that you know and care about that are also entrepreneurs and business owners. Business and entrepreneurship is the only solution to all of our challenge. It always has been. It's just becoming more and more critical. And as Thabo said, if you gain the knowledge and you have somebody to help you apply that knowledge, because on our little smartphones, in our pockets, all the knowledge is available for free. I often need somebody to help me apply that, guide me through it, and sometimes push me to get the results. And it's critical that we create thriving businesses, impacting economies, so that we can have transformed communities. If you're on the roads, travel safe, have a great weekend, Easter weekend. Remember, this is Freedom Month. and think about where do you need to design freedom in your business. And then we'll see you next month as you and me and Thabo and everybody else on this platform that will be joining in tackle unemployment. We're the solution, and you'll see how. Thanks very much for joining us, and we look forward to engaging with you again. Have fun, everyone. Cheers. Bye-bye.